Hey guys, it's Mark from Denmark Bro again. We're in my kitchen, obviously. So we're going to be cooking some more desserts. So what I've got for you today is peanut brittle cake. I'll explain the cake part in a few seconds. So what we've got is all of what we need right now to get ourselves ready. I started off by lining cookie sheet with parchment paper so the brittle doesn't stick. We've got our spoon, we've got our ingredients, sugar, 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of peanuts, 1 cup of corn syrup. It could be either the brown or the clear. We've got 1/2 cup of water. We've got 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and for a little bit later on near the end, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of butter. Now I also have a brush here, because what's going to happen is we're going to cook the sugar and make a caramel. So whenever the caramel cooks, some of the sugar will crystallize on the side. So we'll just add a little bit of water so that the sugar melts down and goes back into the caramel. That's why we've got the bucket of water. So now, my secret ingredient, the cake. Well, as you know, I never do things normal. I always do a little twist in my food or my desserts. And for this dessert, I am going to be adding Red Rectum Revenge. This is a hot sauce. We went to Lake George into a little gift shop and they had a whole bunch of different hot sauces there. This was, I would say, the second or the third hottest hot sauce they had. One hot sauce over top of this and you have to sign a waiver to say that as you use this, they are not, nothing could happen to them. You're taking your own risks for taking that hot sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the peanut brittle, which will have the sweet, the salty from the peanuts, and the spicy from the hot sauce. So here we go. Over a medium heat, medium to medium low. If it's the first time or the first couple of times that you cook the brittle, you should go medium low. So, medium low. Add your 2 cups of sugar. To that, we are going to add the salt. And to that, with our spatula, we are going to add the corn syrup. I use the golden corn syrup or the dark syrup because that's what I had. You can go to the store and get the clear syrup if you want. That is completely your choice. But it's not going to change the recipe one little bit. So, in goes the corn syrup. And to that, you will add your 1/2 cup of water. Now a lot of people will tell you that sugar will melt and create its own caramel. The only thing with that is, I've tried this once, and by only putting sugar, I found that the brittle was extremely hard. It was almost, okay, yes, it's a candy, but it's a rock hard candy. I would rather have my brittle a little bit softer, but still with a crunchy bite. But without the water or the corn syrup, it makes it too hard. So, with that in your bowl, you keep stirring it once in a while. You don't have to stir it too often because, like they say, the sugar will melt itself and start creating the caramel. So just keep your eye on it, and after a while, you put your candy thermometer in it. The candy thermometer has to read about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches that temperature, pull the caramel off the stove, add your peanuts, stir it in just to mix the whole thing together, add your cornstarch, not the cornstarch, sorry, it's baking soda, add your 2 tablespoons of butter, melt all that in, and just at the end, just before you're going to put it onto your cookie sheet, blast it with the hot sauce. Mix it all in very quickly so it has a little bit of heat throughout the whole thing. Lay it all out on your cookie sheet. Right now, we are going to be very patient and wait for the caramel to form and start going up to its 300 degrees. Okay guys, as you can see, the sugar started boiling, so I'm just going to bring down the heat a little bit. And I'm going to insert the chocolate thermometer. I don't know if you can see it, but the temperature is rising. It is now up to about 200 degrees, just about 200. So it's going to have to cook here for a little bit until it goes up to 300. This way all the sugar will have melted and the caramel will have start making itself. Oh, the mixture has been cooking for a little while. It's been about 3 minutes now. And the heat, I don't know if you can see it, is approximately at 250 degrees. So probably another 2-3 minutes and the mixture will be up to 300. Alright guys, as you can see, the thermostat is reading just a wee bit above 300. So what we're going to do, well, you can notice too that the caramel has taken a different consistency. The bubbling is a little bit different. So I'm turning off the power. I'm going to take out the candy thermometer and I'm going to add the peanuts. And along with the peanuts, I'm going to add our butter that's been semi-melting on top here. So I'm going to be stirring that in together. And you can probably hear the sizzling here, because now it's a whole bunch of new cold items that have been added to the very warm liquid. So the liquid is trying to adjust to the coldness of the peanuts and the butter. Okay, so now we've got the peanuts fully coated, the butter completely melted. Oh, no, not quite. There's a little piece of butter in there still. Okay, and now we're going to add cornstarch and a blast of my hot sauce. Here we go. Doop, 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 doop. Wow. The smell of that hot sauce just went straight up my nose. Sorry about that. That was my first shot at the hot sauce here. See, okay, as you can see here, I keep saying cornstarch. I mean to say baking soda. As you can see, the baking soda actually made everything bubble up even more. So that's what's going to make everything nice and airy. Okay, so now I'm just going to remove myself from the oven, and I am going to pour all this mixture straight onto the cookie sheet, just like so. And I could feel it already that the mixture wants to set. It cooled off quite a bit, so I want to take as much as I can out of there, but obviously I won't be able to take the whole thing. So anyways, now try to, as much as you can, thin it out, spread it out onto the cookie sheet to get as much as you can, and also so that it's not so thick. I'm going to try to bring it down in size here a little bit. Thin it out. And I could always try my my secret trick that I've done with the other dessert that I did earlier on. The peppermint bark is just to slam it down. Alright, so now, as you can see, a whole yummy tray of peanut brittle cake. Alright, we're back. The peanut brittle is actually cooled off, and what we could do is actually pull the parchment paper right off the cookie sheet. So as you can see, the brittle is there. Now what I like to do to break the brittle off is to actually keep it in the cookie sheet, because all the little pieces that are going to fly all over on the ground, I don't want that. So by keeping it in the cookie sheet, it'll break and stay as much as possible on the sheet. What I also like to use is the butt end of a knife. I find that using the spoon actually crushes the brittle itself. It shatters it a little bit more than the butt end of the knife. The knife will just break it more than it will shatter it. So I'm going to start off with just hitting it randomly anywhere and have a few pieces break off. There we go. Had to get it started because it's still stuck onto the parchment paper. So here we go. I'm going to try to go. I'm going to start putting them away right away so that I have a little bit of room to crush other pieces. So there we go. Little bits and pieces in there, why not? So there we go. You probably saw that piece flying, didn't you? So now if I put some over top of the other piece and hit it in the middle, it seems to have a little bit less resistance on the brittle. So it breaks better, easier, a little bit faster. So I'm going to put my finger underneath and bang it a bit. There we go. And don't forget, guys, while I was cooking this stuff, I forgot to mention that this mixture gets extremely hot. So if you plan on doing this brittle with the family, with the kids, just make sure to be extremely careful with them. The liquid is so hot, it'll give you third-degree burns as soon as it touches your skin. It is excruciating pain. I know by experience. I had a couple of bits fall on my finger, and boy does it hurt. So, word of caution, just be careful with the kids so that they don't end up burning themselves, because it will hurt. I'm just going to show you guys a little piece here that I've got. I'll give you a quick close-up just to show you. Check right on there, the nice little hot pepper that's in there. Oh, that's going to be good. So there you go. Breaking up our brittle, putting it away in a nice little pot. We're going to bring this hunting. Some of the fellas at the lodge is going to like that. So, Denmark Bros, once again, with our dessert recipe.